Now let's go to capitalization rate. Cap rate, many times we abbreviate it. Capitalization rate is the rate of return on the investment. So in other words, we take cap rate as equal to net operating income, which we just talked about, divided by the purchase price of the property, of the asset. So cap rate is always equal to NOI divided by the purchase price. So as a matter of fact, it does not include debt service. As you recall, I never mentioned about the mortgage or debt service so far because in the cap rate, we do not include that. This number is represented as a percentage number always, the cap rate. If this property is at 6 cap or 8 cap or 11 cap, percent is called. And measure of profitability as an asset with no respect to financing, the leverage. Because when we are buying commercial buildings or otherwise, we are taking a loan of 70% loan, 30% down, or 80% loan, 20% down, or in the middle, 25% down and 75% loan. So that leverage, that financing, the debt service is not counted in the cap rate, in the capitalization rate. It's useful to compare, with the market and other similar properties by the cap rate because it's in the same neighborhood. The cap rates are also quite distinguished by the neighborhood. There could be lower cap rates in the luxury areas of part of town, rich areas, nicer areas, and there could be lower cap rates in those areas, but higher cap rates by 1 or 2 or 3 percentage points if you move to the other side of the town or the area that you are looking into. So the lower the cap rate, the higher the value of the asset, and of course the higher the cap rate, it's the lower value of the purchase price or the value of the asset. Let's take an example. We buy an asset at $5,500,000 and then we find that their annual NOI, the net operating income that the seller is telling us according to their books, of course, you have to write their numbers down, but you have to also look at your numbers, which I'll be teaching in the other module. Please don't miss that. And that is, if the NOI is $552,000, we take the NOI divided by 5,500,000. That number, it's a 10 cap rate. Cap rate does not include debt service. This number is represented as a number. It's a measure of profitability as an asset with no respect to financing or leverage, and it's very useful to compare with markets and other similar properties.